should you be happy that this Threadripper 7960X only drinks 400 watts? Hey tech people, Real Tan here. Just a heads up, this is my first time looking at a high-end desktop CPU, so pardon me if I say anything wrong, and you can let me know how I can improve in the comments. After almost 4 years, AMD finally launches their new high-end desktop or HEDT CPUs. This is the Threadripper 7960X, the entry-level CPU in the lineup. It is 24 cores and 48 threads with a base clock of 4.2 GHz and it can go up to 5.3 GHz. With this new Threadripper lineup, you can put up to 1 TB of DDR5 RAM. The 7960X and its cousins support quad-channel memory just like its Ryzen counterparts. So up to 256 GB RAM modules on each slot, giving you up to 1 TB of DDR5 RAM. And you will need a new motherboard with a TRX 50 chipset to house the 7960X. The sockets on the WRX 80 motherboard may look similar, but I don't think they are compatible with the 7960X. So we have this new motherboard, the Asus Pro Workstation TRX 50 Sage Wi-Fi, 128 GB of DDR5 RDIMMs, there are 5600 mega transfers per second, and Asus Radeon RX 6400 for graphics support. Yes, this CPU does not have built-in graphics. As this motherboard also supports dual power supplies, we're gonna go with 1000 watts as well as 850 watts. Why? I will explain to you in the later part of the video, so make sure to stay till the end. We have decided to pit this guy against one, the Threadripper Pro 5965WX, which also has 24 cores and 48 threads. It will just be a performance test. I will not be mentioning any of the Pro solutions that you can find on a Pro CPU. And the second CPU which is going up against is the flagship Ryzen 9 7950X. It has 16 cores and 32 threads. I would like to see how much of a gap there would be if you went from a mainstream top-tier CPU to another CPU which has more cores and more threads. In Cinebench R23, the 7960X scores over 51,000 points against the 5965's 43,500 points. The 7950X puts out an impressive 36,700 points. The 7960X is about 18% faster than the 5965WX and 40% faster than the 7950X in the multi-core test. More cores and sometimes higher boost clocks could have given the 7960X a bigger edge in Cinebench R23. Next, in Cinebench 2024, also in the multi-core test, the 7960X scores 2854 with the 5965WX trailing behind with a 400-point difference. The 7950X rounds it up with 2,000 plus points. The 7960X is also 18% faster than the 5965 and 38% faster than the 7950X in this test. In the single core, the 7960X is 28 points faster than the 5965WX. But surprisingly, there is little to no difference between the 7960X and the 7950X in the single core run. Next, V-Ray. With 41,000 V samples, the 7960X is almost 24% faster than the 5965 with its 33,000 plus points. The performance gap between the 5965WX and the 7950X is smaller with a 2,000 point gap. And let's round it up with the Blender benchmark. The 7960X is also 25% faster in the total score against the 5965WX and 38% faster than the 7950X. There's a difference of 40 to 50 points between the 7960X and the 5965WX, and a bigger gap of 50 to 100 points between the 7960X and 7950X across the 3 individual tests. I have also taken test numbers for DaVinci Resolve and Photoshop using QJBench, but unfortunately, I was not able to perform the benchmark for the 5965WX. Hopefully, I can do so when another of that CPU comes here. So, comparing the 7960X and the 7950X, surprisingly, especially in Photoshop, there's not much of a difference. You can see that these two QJ benchmarks rely more on the GPU. The RX 6400 could be holding back the two CPUs, so that may explain the not so high numbers on both benchmarks. Now for the interesting part. I was expecting this CPU to run really hot. However, in our Cinebench loads, it ran at an average of 87.2 degrees C with a max of 88.4 degrees C. This is below the maximum operating temperature of 95 degrees C. It is cooler than the 5965WX, which ran at 90 plus degrees C, similar to a mainstream Ryzen 7000 CPU like the 7950X. Well, we are cooling the 7960X with a 360mm AIO Retrieve Fantex T30 fans running at full blast. But is that the real reason why this CPU does not run as hot as a Ryzen 7000 CPU? Out of the box, the 7960X ran at an average of 4.8 GHz with 1 or 2 cores reaching 5.0 GHz. We were not able to get the full boost clock of 5.3 GHz. And take a look at the load power consumption. Less than 400 watts. It drank almost 350 watts, less than a 5965 which used 400 watts. The 7950X drank 230 to 240 watts of power. But we did not stop there. After some manual overclocking, our overclocker managed to push most of the cores to run at 4.9 GHz, with 1 or 2 cores reaching 5.6 GHz. This made the 7960X consume a wee bit over 400 watts. So this could mean either of two things. One, the 7960X, even though it's a very high-end CPU, is not very power hungry and is very power efficient. Or two, we may be performance limited by this motherboard, or we just didn't get a very good CPU. But let's all be positive and let's drive home the idea of theory number 1, which means that the 7960X is truly power efficient and not as power hungry as you may think. If you paired this CPU with a very high-end GPU such as the RTX 4090, you could get away with a 1000 watt PSU. However, I would recommend a 1200 watt power supply for more power headroom. I do not have any of the high-end CPUs such as the 7980X, but as of time of filming, these new CPUs have already launched, and reports say that a 7980X could go up as high as 800 watts when PBO is on. That's where things get really crazy. And that's where a dual power supply system like this makes sense. This TRX 50 Sage enables the 2 power supplies to split the operating load. Essentially, for example, each power supply will take 200 watts each from the CPU. This is beneficial because this will reduce the load on each power supply. It may be more expensive to have 2 power supplies, but if you're already spending so much money on a high-end desktop platform, longevity of your components is definitely more important than the cost. With an MSRP of $1499, should you even buy this 7960X? If you are new to the HEDT platform and would like to give it a try, you could consider this 7960X. It is a good entry point into the high-end desktop platform. However, it will cost you a lot, not including the CPU. You will need a new motherboard like this, which is definitely not going to be affordable, and you will need a new set of DDR5 DIMMs, which are definitely not cheap. That said, a 7960X is supposedly cheaper than a 5965WX, and if you don't need any of the pro solutions that you can find on the TR Pro CPU, you can start off with this 7960X. It is very powerful. The high core counts and the high boost clocks enable it to be superb at multitasking, and is also not power hungry. However, do ask yourself and remind yourself from time to time on why would you spend so much money on a high-end desktop platform. If you need the horsepower for heavy creation such as 8K rendering, yes, you can consider this 7960X if you are venturing into HEDT for the first time. If you are just gaming and or creating content like I do not see a need for this CPU. You can consider the 7950X instead or go for another CPU. And one more thing, as mentioned earlier, you can have up to 1TB of RAM on this HEDT platform. You can only have up to 192 gigs of RAM on a mainstream Ryzen platform. But if you ever need more than 1TB of RAM, you will need to buy a TR Pro CPU. I have done a few videos on that, so you can check those out. Or you can wait for the soon-to-be released TR Pro 7000 CPUs and another motherboard lineup. So if you like my first review of a HEDT CPU, make sure to smash the thumbs up button and comment down below what do you think of this review and how I can improve for future videos. Make sure to return to my channel as I'll be taking a look at this new motherboard as well as provide you with more HEDT reviews. So stay tuned.